Christie's continues to embrace Web3. The auction house has teamed up with luxury fashion brand Gucci to release a digital art NFT collection that features works from various generative artists, including decentralized autonomous artist Botto. Joining us now is the artist and guardian of Botto, Mario Klingemann, along with Christie's manager of digital art sales, Sebastian Sanchez. Welcome to you both.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Great to be here.
All right, let's dive right into this. Sebastian, let's talk about this. NFT markets are down. We're definitely in a way different place than we were back in 2021 when NFTs kind of started booming. Tell us about the partnership with Gucci. How are luxury brands thinking about the space right now?
Yeah, Gucci came to us because they wanted involvement in the Art Tech Summit, which just happened over the past 2 days. And the idea was to create a collection around that with them in collaboration. We've worked in the past together. We brought one of their first NFTs to market, I think last year. And yeah, the idea was to bring generative AI was kind of the original idea. And then we sort of expanded that to just generative systems in general. So the collection it showcases everything that's happening in generative art and generative fashion and sort of everything in between, because it's a real spectrum right now. I mean, there's generative 3D garments and there's abstract generative art that has references to textiles and patterns in production. So my goal and Christie's goal and Gucci's goal was to really showcase all of the above.
So Mario, how does this work? Because of course, the whole idea of going to a house like Gucci is the idea of quality control, of their designers being in full control of the process from the time that they put the pencil onto the paper to the time the work comes out of the factory, and that it's going to meet a certain standard at all times. How does it work then with generative art, where it's almost not quite that kind of control, but almost, it's controlled up to a point, right? That the orders for it are controlled, but then the output isn't. How does that quality control as an artist, how does that happen?
Well, either you have a look at a lot of images and develop a very good taste, and then, you still have to decide, or you use AI to help you with that, which is what we are doing, what I'm doing. So you train a model that tries to develop its own sense of taste and then makes a selection which hopefully is up to the standards. And of course, that is the interesting part. If you are able to do that. If, the art that is created gets recognized, gets sold, of course. And, with Botto, I must say, it seems to work.
Do you think you'll see pushback? Of course, we're seeing now with the strike that's going on in Hollywood right now, where artists and writers and performing artists are saying, "Hey, we don't want to be replaced by AI." It might seem, of course, a little far-fetched given the kind of quality so far we've seen come out of AI, but nonetheless, they're worried that their work will eventually be, at least in large part, several people will be replaced per show, let's say, by what AI can do, and the artistry is gone. Do you get any pushback from people, let's say even within Gucci, that says, you know what, we're really good with quality control. We're really good with what we do. We cannot be replaced by AI. It sort of seems like the two concepts are in conflict. How have you heard anything? Have you gotten any, I don't want to say pushback, but at least some commentary from the people in the House of Gucci?
Oh, I have not, because I'm not associated with Gucci. That's the thing. So, I mean, generally, yes, I understand the worries of people who are working in the creative field, because definitely there will be certain tasks and professions be replaceable with AI. I mean, and there's always this thing that in a certain phase, we get awed by these outputs and maybe do not even realize that they are maybe not as good as what a human produces, but unfortunately much, much cheaper to make and much, much faster. So I believe that, there will be a shift. There will be plenty of new ways of working with it. And of course, ideally, there is kind of people embrace working with AI and add it to their repertoire, what they're working with. But interesting with Botto, so far there has been no pushback. But I definitely, in the general artist community, I noticed that some people are very worried. And so I think if you are a digital artist, you have to be more worried than if you are working with actual physical media, because like our appreciation for craftsmanship will not go away so quickly. So I guess we might have a short phase where AI is very fashionable, but in the long term, I believe we will still kind of see the value in human labor.
Sebastian, regulation has been kind of the theme of this industry over the past, I don't know, well, for its entire existence, but especially over the past 2 months. Any concern from Christie's perspective that regulators are going to start looking deeper at NFTs? Have any regulators come to kind of look into how Christie's is working with NFTs, especially given how some other countries are starting to look at these different niches of the crypto space?
Honestly, not that I'm aware of. We're very compliant. We have a very strict policy across the entire department. If you can imagine, we're a very old company, and regulation and compliance has been at the forefront of our business for 250 years. So, no major red flags at this point. Hoping that the government doesn't see NFTs as. Hopefully they allow NFTs and everything is okay, and it's another medium in which artwork can be transferred. Can only speak on the art angle, but that's what I hope. Nothing has happened in terms of red flags and regulation at this point.
So no concerns on your end, Mario. We have to ask you. So we have this decentralized autonomous artist. You've told other publications that your overarching idea is that Botto becomes its own entity. First, can you just unpack what a decentralized autonomous artist is for us, and how this vision kind of comes to fruition for you?
Well, so generally the question is it possible with all the technical means we have now to create an entity that is a machine, but we perceive almost like a persona that we kind of see really as an artist. So what does it take to be an artist? That's the first question. What do you have to do? So, Botto is kind of my brainchild, and it consists, I call it a trinity, because you cannot use just an AI alone, because an AI alone does not really have any motivation. So the trinity is the AI, which is the brain. Then you have the community of stewards, of human stewards, which kind of help Botto along developing its taste model by voting on Botto's proposals. So every week, Botto selects 350 what we call fragments, so its works, and they are up for votes, and the community then picks a winner. And that gets then minted on SuperRare and auctioned. And the third part of the trinity is its lifeblood, which is Botto the coin. So in order to join the community, you stake Botto, and that gives you voting rights. And and in the end, like if a work sells, and that's also kind of an answer to the question, like what do we do if machines kind of replace our creative jobs? You are part of the artist, and you get rewarded for your voting work, because actually so 50% of Botto's sales get redistributed to the community for voting. And so we get this. And then, of course, Botto constantly learns from what the preferences are, and the community learns also, of course, from the market, because everybody has to start thinking like an artist. So like, okay, do I go for my personal preferences? Do I like this aesthetic? Or, last week, this one that I didn't really like, but it sold very well. So should we produce more? Should Botto try to get more into the direction of that? So there's a constant dialogue going on, and actually also interesting to evolve, like how the community of humans develops their taste. So it's a kind of inverse cyborg, what I call. So a cyborg is like humans augmented by machines, and we have now a machine augmented by humans. And so far, and of course, as Botto's father, I'm extremely proud that another checkbox down the bucket list of what an artist has to do has been achieved, being kind of part of Christie's auction. So yeah, I think Botto is in a pretty good space to kind of be seen as an artist, as a persona.
So it's like a DAO meets art.
Yeah.
Meets Terminator.
Meets Terminator. I was looking for the next word. Thank you. Sebastian, lastly here, any other big luxury NFT projects coming up with Christie's?
Not in the near future. We are continuing conversations with Gucci, so hopefully more of that in the future.
Awesome. Sebastian, Mario, thank you very much for joining the show.
Thank you for having us.
That was Christie's manager of digital arts sales, Sebastian Sanchez, and artist Mario Klingemann.